Welcome to another Bright Idea. I'm your host, Debbie Burns. My guest today is back literally by popular demand. We do listen to your comments and input for this program, and we appreciate that you take the time and effort to call or write and let us know what you're thinking. We thank you very much for your input. The remarkable response from our viewers has let us know that you wanted to learn more from this extraordinary Houston health practitioner, and I'm referring to my guest today, Miss Joyce Long, right over here, owner of Joyce Long and Associates Wellness Center. Welcome, Miss Long.
Good afternoon, Debbie. Glad to be here again.
Great. Joyce, you told me before we were taping today that you were just literally inundated with phone calls from your last appearance here on Another Bright Idea. What sort of questions were on people's minds for you and your staff when they were calling your center?
Well, I would have thought there would have been quite a few questions, but there were a lot more statements about thank you for you and Debbie opening up the reality of coming back to taking care of family matters again, going back to the basics of not feeding your children bad things for breakfast, along with the questions that we did have about giving more facts out. We did send quite a few of our promo packs out with the articles that we have written for several of the magazines. But what people are finding out, as well as men, a lot of our women are discovering they haven't been doing their motherly thing. They've let it slide with fast food, carbonated fast drinks, and children growing up very unhealthy, as well as the adults are becoming more and more unhealthy.
Now, we're going to be showing Joyce's mailing address at the end of this program on the credit, so you might want to get a pen and paper to grab her address if you would like to receive some of these brochures full of information, and she'll be very glad, she and her staff, to send them to you to look over at in your privacy of your home, and if you have any questions, you can maybe give her a call at that time. I understand that you have been traveling extensively in the very recent past. Could you share with our viewers where you've been going and what you've been up to during these travels?
Well, as of 3 years ago, I became a certified national instructor for colon hydrotherapy, and I was already a massage instructor. So combining these two skills, I've been asked to speak at the major colon hydrotherapy clinics and schools and massage industry schools on digestive disorders, as well as why muscles are so toxic and stressed at this time in our lives. Florida, California, going to Hawaii.
Are there more concentrations of these people on the coasts more than like throughout the country, or not?
It's getting to be everywhere now, Debbie. I'm speaking at a lot of the national conventions along with medical doctors.
Oh, super. Do you think there is an increase in the number of people who are interested in becoming involved as students of these alternative modalities? And if so, what specific areas seems to be drawing them?
As well as professional students, yes, and as well as people wanting to become students of their own bodies and futures now.
Sure.
They're all coming into the new look of how to have additions and complementary health adjuncts. They're not looking to be students to graduate. They just want to keep their lives flowing. So as well as schools and students and people becoming students, it is really becoming overwhelming. We have people that just ask the simplest questions, and we realize they aren't taught this. We have to educate them. So we do celebrate wellness through education at our center.
So are you seeing people who are calling you inquiring about maybe learning to do colon hydrotherapy, or they want to learn to be a massage therapist, or?
A combination, but what we're seeing is a lot more people calling for me to do breakfast and luncheon talks. Please come educate us, please.
You heard it. She's available. If your civic group needs a talker, you got one right here.
We're just about letting people know, let's get back to the basic foundation of true health. You can't buy it in a cream. You put it in your mouth. It starts in your mouth with digestion, as within, as without. If you want to really look good on the outside, what are you putting in the inside? Where you eat and what you eat is what you are.
Well, that's very good. I've been noticing a lot of in the Chronicle and in other publications. There's a lot of new day spas opening up in and around the Metro Houston area.
Isn't it wonderful?
How would you describe, for those of our listeners who maybe don't know the difference between a spa and a wellness center, i.e., in the services they provide, credentials, what they address, that kind of stuff?
Well, first of all, I'd like to compliment all the day spas that are opening up. It is wonderful. They are about the outside of your body and making you beautiful there. As wellness centers go, we are just as certified as they are in their esthetician schools. We provide centering and wellness and beauty from within. So cleaning out the within makes the outside just beautiful. So we complement the day spas. So if we're an interior day spa.
So if you address the toxins within, then it's going to manifest in more you feel better, you look better, the smile on your face looks better.
You create, as being your own environmental specialist, you're creating your outside glow.
I see. Well, you can't put that on with a brush.
No.
From your unique vantage point at the Wellness Center, are there some disturbing, perhaps reoccurring conditions that you're seeing now or hearing about that you would like to discuss with our viewers? Now that we have this opportunity today, what are you seeing there that's really alarming you?
Two major things. Number one, lack of breath. Without breath, you have no flow, and without flow, your body just cannot reorganize on a cellular level and release toxic waste. I'm seeing a lot of bloating because of mainly no breath. People don't breathe 80% of their lung capacity. They breathe to the sternum bone and that's it. That's not fulfilling the flow of the whole body entirely on a cellular level to regenerate your electrical system. Because remember, Debbie, and you know this, being positive and negative, we are electrical little batteries. And if we don't get enough flow, we start shorting out. Shorting out promotes disease, breakdown to disease, and it's die with ease. Now, you can take control and limit the amount of ways that you're dying fast by breathing and getting rid of carbonated products in your body.
We're going to touch on that in just a minute. What else? What else are you seeing?
A lot of yeast and bloating. And we're trying to educate people about the overconsumption of carbonated products along with the white hamburger bun and what it co-creates.
A bleached flour.
A bleached flour.
Product, be it a donut or whatever.
Right, it creates disease later on.
What about, are you seeing this in youngsters?
We're seeing it in children as young as 3 years old being carbonated drinks with their dinner and their lunches and their suppers, and then chewing gum on top of that so they swallow a lot of air. Bubblegum candy is co-creating these children who are adults under construction. Remember that. We have to. What we do with them right now is what their future is going to be. So we're just mainly addressing questions and answers on the level that women can take hold and treat their families like in the old days. Simple but good.
See? Okay, I want to direct our discussion now in a direction that may enlighten some of our viewers, it may alarm some of our viewers, or it may upset some of our viewers, but I want to address this topic of carbonation, the myth versus the reality. Now, normally I have a beautiful flower arrangement on our coffee table here. Today we have gracing it and a collection of soda cups from a local convenience store, and we have the full array of sizes here. I personally know that you have researched and observed this topic for a considerable length of time. So would you take a few moments to share some of your findings with our audience? And if you want to refer to these cups or whatever, you just feel free.
About 7 years off your life, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Carbonated drinks destroy your oxygen intake. They're phosphoric acid. It eats up your calcium. What people don't realize is the more that they drink per week, they're eating the enamel off of their teeth.
Right.
That's good for the dentist. But it's not good for us in the long run because as you put the carbonated product down, the acids, you're starting in the mouth. Let's just pull the chart up, Debbie, and let's explain a little bit. You pour the carbonated drink down the esophagus, which goes into the stomach. And as the carbonation starts on the palate of the tongue, it starts with the acid-like bubbles. That's co-creating an acidic level. And if you're dumping food with that, it's just like a car battery. You can take that Coca-Cola out there, put it on your battery, wash off the acid, and it's going to start 9 times out of 10.
The corrosion goes away.
Well, in this sense, you are putting corrosion in your body. It's acidifying all of your beautiful cellular tissue.
And probably that acid is affecting your digestive enzymes.
It enlarges your blood vessels and slows down the blood flow throughout the stomach to all the internal organs. And if the liver is the largest detoxification unit, you're giving the liver too much work. It's always overworked by a carbonated drink.
What if you're drinking something carbonated that's also alcoholic, such as beer, champagne, something like that?
Excellent statement. What that's doing is total fermentation from the tongue down. Remember, the body is 6 feet from the mouth to the anus. It's just not going halfway. It's going all the way down. It's kind of like our old trusty plumbing.
Oh, good.
We are not PVC.
Right.
We are cellular soft tissue that carbonated drinks after a while start to tear down and destroy. This can take at least 100 years to destroy. But looking at the circumference in this is your system going down. It starts getting blocked with all the food that's turned rancid and fermented in there.
Right.
Then you bring that carbonation, and what does it do? It swells that food. It causes bloating. It causes reflux, where you're burping back up the food and belching all the time. And just think, you want to know why you can't pass gas? Your anus is sealed 6 feet. This is the anal sphincter muscle. If that gas does not pass through that system, internal hemorrhoids and hemorrhoids are projected from this union, because the body doesn't have the ability to put out as much gas as people put in by misconducting what food they put into their system and the amount of liquids.
So it's combinations of food and beverage. Is that what you're saying?
And sometimes a combination of what type food you're putting in. You have to remember that what's going down here needs to make it all the way in the correct breakdown formation. We're not PVC. We're not going to be here forever. We are cellular tissue that's regenerated every 7 years with trillions of cells. But what happens in that 7 years if you're self-auto-intoxicating yourself? Disease sinks in, and we have all the problems that are happening right now. Carbonation and oxygen are the 2 things that will kill you the fastest. If you don't breathe and you're drinking carbonated products, you're slowing down your life force. And people call all the time and say, thank you for showing me how to live in a preventive maintenance program and not a crisis management situation. And
so like if people are sitting there with their hands swollen at the end of the day, their face is puffy, and I see this in my massage business, their faces are puffy, their
bellies are out to here.
Bellies are out, ankles swell at the end of the day. Yeah, they lay down at night in bed, and you know, they're having reflux and stuff. You're saying carbonation would be a good place to start looking?
Exactly. Also, too, they need to see about processing elimination. See if their circulatory system is working, but get rid of the dead tissue that's causing all of this from what they've done to their system already. And through colon hydrotherapy and deep tissue massage and breathing exercises, you can reverse on a cellular level what you've done to your body by making the trash liquefied and floating it out of the system through the colon hydrotherapy.
Okay, now this is a little follow-up to this original question, but an alarming number of people, as you have said, they'll have a soda or a soft drink for breakfast even, and they make them available to their children.
Right.
And, of course, this is setting up behavior patterns that, you know, they may have to be 30 before they can change it. But wait.